Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to CLLST. Today we have Aditya Singhvi, AIR 52 in CLAT 2024 with us. So first of all, a big congratulations to you, Aditya, for getting into the top national law school of the country. So how's the feeling?
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's really a great feeling, ma'am. I think that you just imagine about this moment almost your whole life while you're growing up, and it's really worth it.
So I'll come to your, the line of saying whole line you have been imagining this. So before I get into this, first of all, can you tell me something about yourself, your background, and what actually inspired you to make a career in law?
If I'm being very honest, ma'am, I come from a middle class background. I live in Mumbai, and ma'am, I think what inspire my dad is an engineer, and I think my inspiration, to be very honest, was a series called Ma'am Suits, if you're aware.
Okay.
I watched that
Very,
and I
very
admired the main character, ma'am, Harvey Specter, and I was always good at arguing. All my parents and relatives said that. So I
okay.
asked, yes, ma'am, I think that's what my inspiration is.
Yeah, so everybody somewhere somehow gets an inspiration from suits. Okay. So that I got an idea that your parents are from a different background. So was there any, hurdle when you said that okay, no, I don't want to go into engineering, I want to pursue law?
Yes, ma'am, initially a bit, but I think both my parents were extremely supportive.
Yeah.
Initially, dad was like, you should pursue engineering, but then I said, no, I don't want to. I didn't like science from the very beginning. So yeah, I think they were extremely supportive. So there were no as such hurdles relating to support from my parents.
Yeah, generally, obviously, parents are always very supportive. But when the parents are from, science background, so they may question a little bit that why law. But yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
there
But
is an inclination.
actually,
Huh?
my sister is also in NLU right now, NLU Patiala.
Oh, great.
So they were very supportive about that because she also got in, so they thought it's a really good field, and so I didn't have any hurdles about that.
Okay, so moving to your CLAT preparation, how did you prepare for your CLAT exam? Could you, share some of
I
the.
I joined the institute, ma'am, in 11th, in end of 11th almost, and then I prepared for almost 1.2 years.
Okay,
So yeah,
so when I say you joined in 11th and you prepared for one and, half years, so if I look into the challenges which you must have faced during your preparation, so what was the biggest challenge which you faced in your CLAT preparation and how did you overcome them?
I think reading, ma'am. I wasn't much of a reader. Like hear every lawyer that they read books in their childhood and all. I didn't read any books up until I reached 11th standard. Then I wanted to pursue only law. So I tried to read a few books, but I still couldn't finish them. I thought that how will I become a lawyer? How will I achieve a rank if I can't even read books? But yeah, it wasn't that much big of a deal because when I solved the mocks, when I practiced, I had really fun and I enjoyed solving mocks because the passages all very interesting to me. I like studying GK. So yeah.
Okay, so if I ask about your experience while writing CLAT paper on, Sunday, last Sunday, not before that, on third. So what was your feeling like when you got the paper? Was there a kind of where you were a little bit anxious, or it was like I'm very calm and composed? I know what I'm supposed to do, or I have a command over
I
all the sections. What was the feeling? Yeah.
I was pretty confident before the exam, but when I saw the paper, it was extremely easy.
Okay.
On third, everybody, and I immediately knew that the cutoff was going to be very high. So yeah, I was a little anxious that I cannot even make small mistakes because a small mistake can cost me even NLS or even any NLU because everybody saw in the cutoff how 0.25 even made a big difference.
Exactly. So
Yeah, so I was a little anxious about that, but I thought that I shouldn't think about that for the moment and just do my best in the paper. And my instincts actually take over. Everybody's instincts at the time of paper, I think, take over, and you shouldn't think too much about it. Just do what you're supposed to do.
okay, so when you're writing a paper, generally what happens na everybody has a strategy. Like I'll go ahead with
Yeah.
this section first, or I'll go ahead with this particular section. So what was there any strategy which you followed, or you went with the
Yeah.
flow?
No, actually, I experimented a few times before because I think everybody has their own strategy. You cannot just take anyone's strategy. So the best thing for me was I attempted legal section first because that was my strong suit. So I got that initial boost of confidence from legal. Then I went because legal is a really lengthy section and it takes most of your time in the mock. So then I went to GK to cool down a bit, and then I went to another reading comprehension. English or logical, whichever one I feel like in the paper. I didn't really choose. So in the mocks, I used to do logical first, but on actual CLAT day, I did English first because logical was really tricky when I saw it. So I thought I should go for English first. So I did that, and then I leave maths for last because you don't know how much time you're gonna take for maths, and I solve maths when I'm not under pressure because
Okay.
if you do it in the middle, you have to reserve 15 minutes. But I
Exactly.
solve the full paper and then go about maths with however much time I am left with, usually 20 to 15 minutes. So I was able to attempt my whole math section, 12 out of 12 questions I attempted, and that's a really big edge that gives you maths, I
Okay.
believe.
So yeah, so when I look at your strategy, this is generally we also suggest to student that go for a lengthier section, then pick up a smaller one, and then again go for lengthier section. Because once you start
Yeah.
reading a lot, maybe you'll feel pressure or you lack interest. But I liked your idea that you can solve only maths when you are when you are tension free. So that is also good that
Yeah.
I'm keeping maths for the last, like the time management is the key to the exam. Okay,
Yes,
coming
exactly.
to the next thing, when I look at like some of these students will be writing CLAT 2025, those who appeared this year also, and obviously we'll have a new set of students who will start their preparations. So when you look at these kids, so what is one advice which you would want to give it to them, that what you shall follow while you are preparing for CLAT?
I think in a paper like CLAT, you need to understand the paper really well because it's not like other competitive exams that you have this syllabus and you have to cover this and this will come in the exam. Anything can come in CLAT. It can be completely out of what you're prepared for in a year or 2 years or how much of time you're prepared for. So I think that solving mocks and practicing is the most important thing. And solving every type of mock, every type of PYQ that you can find, you should solve all of them. I prefer practice over theory any day in a paper like CLAT because theory won't help you that much as practice and thinking on your feet will.
Okay. Also, one more, interesting area in CLAT or for that matter, any law entrance examination is GK. And this year,
Yes.
GK was quite easy, very on a
Yes.
very predictable topic. But if you look at last, so you have already suggested that we shall go ahead with PYQ. So if you look at the last year's paper of CLAT, GK was quite tough. So where
Yeah.
a student are actually confused that कहाँ से start करना चाहिए, what is the strategy which I shall follow. So what was your strategy which you followed in GK section?
Ma'am, while studying GK section, ma'am, one of the most important things is newspaper because newspaper has everything that you need to cover in GK, and every topic that happens in the world or in India is covered in. I am not saying to make notes from newspaper, just pick up topics from newspaper, the topics that you think are important, and then study about it on Google, Wikipedia, and different websites. You can find the topics. Just pick up the topics from newspaper. I believe it's really useful, and you should be ready for anything because CLAT is extremely unpredictable. Because this year GK ma'am, there were two sets which were answerable from the passage itself.
The General Dyer one and the
Yeah,
Ambedkar one.
constitution.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, if you look at your 1.5 year journey of CLAT preparation, do you feel like that there was something which you should not have done and you should have adopted a different strategy? Although it's a very different kind of question which I'm asking, because already you are getting into top national school. But when we prepare, we always feel like कि मुझे ये नहीं करना चाहिए था, ये करना चाहिए था. So was there a moment in your preparation where you felt like that?
मैम, क्लैट के पहले तो ऐसा कुछ फील नहीं हुआ, बट आफ्टर क्लैट आई फेल्ट कि आई स्टडी टू मच जीके, like too
That
much.
was
All my
yeah.
time was GK. And the paper was so easy that even if I studied for a week, I would have been able to solve that GK
Yeah, but
because the
this time
topics were so predictable.
Yeah, but this time GK was quite different, na? Quite easy. It was very on
Yeah,
probability.
exactly.
Chandrayaan was matlab expected topic. India, sorry, Israel and Palestine. Since every year they are focusing on war thing, so that was also most probable. India hosted G20. Huh, but we can say the type of question which were followed in these passages were also quite easy. But ठीक है, knowledge कभी
Yes, ma'am.
बेकार नहीं जाता. So
Huh,
whatever you have
exactly.
studied will help you a lot.
I
Okay,
was
the last
always stressed about GK, ma'am, about that.
that is always there
जीके
ना
के
हर
बारे में मैम कभी you will never feel that you have done with GK कि अब हो गया मेरा अब और कुछ नहीं करना है. You will never feel like that while studying GK.
That is why, because every day there's a new development. When you read something, for example, I'll just take today's example or maybe yesterday's example. So, when we read about election commissioners' appointment, we knew something else. Then Supreme Court came up with a judgment. There, set up a committee, and then we had government
Yeah.
saying कि हम Supreme Court का judgment नहीं मानेंगे. Then yesterday there was backlash. Then again they went back to the judgment. So every day there is something happening or changing at the news front, so you need to be on your toe, and that is why you feel
Exactly.
like कि हमेशा पढ़ना and खत्म नहीं होता. So that is one
हाँ.
problem which will be there, but there your skill comes into picture कि मुझे क्या pick करना है, how, you know which I feel like would be the important aspect, and from where we have to gather information, because information भी
Yeah.
बहुत ज़्यादा available होते हैं. So that
हाँ,
is one.
actually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, this is the last question. Although I'm too early to ask this question. I mean, this is too early to ask this question. But once you'll get into law school, you'll have a better idea. But as for now, have you ever thought of like which field you are going for, or what is something which actually inspires you in law, or what you are aiming for?
Actually, right now, I believe I will get into corporate law.
Okay, everybody thinks the
Corporate
same.
corporate law, ma'am, because I believe that. Can I be completely honest over here, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Because I believe that if you don't have contacts in the legal field, litigation, it's very difficult to survive.
Very true.
Yeah, and corporate law gives you that if even if you don't have a strong legal base, you can still earn extremely well and you can live a really comfortable life and you can have all the success you want through corporate law. I
That
believe
is
that. But when I go
that.
to law school, I think I'll have a better idea about what to do.
Yeah, so in 5 years' time, actually, you get to know multiple things, especially when you go and when you intern. So you get an actual idea. So you will be interning with lawyers, you will be interning with, corporate firms also. So there actually it shapes your vision that, what are the kind of work with which I'm comfortable. And
Yeah,
obviously if someone thinks of litigation, so yeah, that is one thing which is very true, that you if you don't have a backup, or if you're the first generation lawyer, so there are
yeah,
struggles. But yeah, some of them also opts like you go for a law firm corporate job, and then after earning and having a good saving you can shift to litigation
yeah. You
that
can
time.
always do that.
Yeah, by that time you also have a bit knowledge, and you also
Yeah,
have bit of connections, so that will actually help you. Rest of
yeah.
college will decide the
Yes, exactly.
environment which you get. Okay, so it was
Yeah.
really nice interacting with you, Aditya. All the best for your law school.
Thank you
In
so
law
much.
school, don't be just confined to academic. Explore all the areas which is there and enjoy your 5 years time. You will not even feel like and when it will get over. So have lots of fun, and yes, do study also. Okay, so thank
Thank
you
you so
so much,
much.
Aditya. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.